affected by coronavirus. Same thing with Italy. Italy, of course, is a little bigger than England, and Spain also. And whereas in India, India was relatively safe. And we must give the credit to Narendra Modi for that. He took a timely action. He just locked down the whole nation. And the nation also, the entire nation responded so nicely. So, as they say, a stitch in time saves 9. A timely action saves the situation. So, okay, so now let us just, yesterday we did up to moon. How do you all like this Uddhava Gita? I hope it's not, you don't find it too abstract or too difficult to understand. Like, in a way it's a little difficult because, it's not really fitting into our concept as such. 24 gurus. Who is a guru? Wind is guru, earth is guru, fire is guru, moon is guru. Now, whereas our concept is guru is Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. Not so much Shiksha Guru also. Like we are just stuck up with the Diksha Guru concept. And so, therefore, this concept is necessary to see how we have to at least broaden the sphere of our understanding of Guru. Yes, Prabhupada is the Guru. In ISKCON, that's one thing that everybody has to understand. Prabhupada is the Guru, as the founder Acharya. The founder Acharya, what does it mean? Who founded the Sampradaya. Like Brahma is our founder Acharya. Madhvacharya is another founder Acharya. The whole Sampradaya is named after him. Madhva Sampradaya. So in a similar way, this is another Sampradaya that's developing. ISKCON Sampradaya. ISKCON Sampradaya. And of this ISKCON Sampradaya, Srila Prabhupada is the Acharya. He is the founder of the Sampradaya of ISKCON. Let's try to understand that, these are the important things that we must understand. Why did Prabhupada put so much emphasis on his position as the founder Acharya? Because through ISKCON, a very specific spiritual movement is going to grow throughout the world. That is what is happening. And sooner we recognize that, better it is for us. So, even when reflected in various objects, this is the text 51 of Uddhava Gita, which is the 7th chapter of 11th canto. So the 51st verse is saying, even when reflected in various objects, the sun is never divided, nor does it merge into the reflection. Only those with dull brains would consider the sun in this way. Similarly, although the soul is reflected through different material bodies, the soul remains undivided and non-material. So, isn't it such a wonderful understanding of the soul? The analogy is drawn from the sun. That is how one is learning. His Avadhuta is learning from the sun. Sun is reflected in various objects. Sun's rays are reflected in various objects, but the sun is never divided. It's one sun, and these are the reflections. Nor does it merge into its reflection. Sun is neither divided by the reflection, nor does it merge in the reflection. So what does it mean? The sun is totally separated from the reflections. Sun is totally separated from what is reflecting its rays. So now the analogy is, in a similar way, the body, the soul, is functioning through different bodies, and it doesn't mean that when the soul is in this body, this body's soul are divided due to the soul being different bodies. Similarly, although the soul is reflected through different material bodies, the soul remains undivided and non-material. So, purport, I'll just read that. The sun is reflected in many objects, such as windows, mirrors, shiny metal, oil, water, and so on. Yet the sun remains one and indivisible. Similarly, the eternal spirit soul within the body is reflected through the screen of the material body. Thus, the soul appears to be old or young, fat or skinny, happy or sad. So here it is saying reflected through the screen of the material body. Why this analogy? Because the light is going through the screen. It is the consciousness that is going through the body, like the light passes through a screen. Somewhere another example has been given in that respect. Like the light is passing through different mediums and it is taking that shape or that reflection. Like the light is passing through red object or red transparent object or translucent object, and the light seems to be red. Similarly to the blue medium, the light appears to be blue, and so forth. But the light is light. Light is neither blue nor red. So similarly, the consciousness is passing through the body and we are thinking, individually we are thinking that this is me. The consciousness, the body, the medium is the body is the medium. Through the medium the consciousness is passing, we are identifying with that medium. But the consciousness, the soul from which the consciousness is coming is not affected or should not be affected. A self-realized soul, an exalted spiritual personality doesn't become affected. Less intelligent people, materially motivated people, living entities in conditioned state consider the body or the medium to be the self. So this is again further pointed out here. The soul may appear to be American, Russian, African, Hindu or Christian. However, the eternal soul in its natural position is free of any material designation. The soul doesn't have any material designation. The soul only has one spiritual designation. That is, the soul is an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the identity of the soul. Jiver Sharup hoy, Krishner Nitya Das. A soul is Krishna's eternal servant. So this is also another very important point. These points are actually from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary. Unless one takes to Krishna consciousness, unless one takes to Krishna consciousness, one is grossly misusing the invaluable opportunity of human life. Human life is meant for self-realization, and we should not waste time bickering over material designations such as capitalist, communist, American, Russian, and so on. Instead, all people should take to the loving devotional service of God and realize their general pure identity. Isn't it a very important instruction? So this is why Avadhut accepted San as his guru. Because from the San he learned this. One should never indulge in excessive affection or concern for anyone or anything. Otherwise, one will have to experience great suffering, just like the foolish pigeon. So here, what he learned from the pigeon. And another quality, another lesson that Abhadhuta learned from the sun. Just as the sun evaporates large quantities of water by its potent rays and later returns the water to the earth in the form of rain, similarly a saintly person accepts all types of material objects with his material senses. And at the appropriate time, when the proper person has approached him to request them, he returns such material objects. Thus, both in accepting and giving up the objects of the senses, he is not entangled. So, the water, so we need water. To live, we need water. Without water, one cannot live. Now, how this water is being supplied everywhere, that is being done by sun. Sun makes the water from the sea. Originally, the water was in the sea, but the sea water is salty water. You cannot drink them or use them for anything, not even for cultivation. So he makes the water evaporate. And then that water becomes cloud. Then the cloud goes to different places through the wind, dispersed. So it is the sun that makes the water form the cloud, and then that cloud gives the water away. So although sun is doing that business, but the sun doesn't get affected by that. Nor does the sun take any credit for that, or sun takes any advantage from that. Sun doesn't need water. Sun doesn't feel thirsty and want to drink water. It's not that sun, when the sun is making the water evaporate, the sun needs the water to drink or something. So we can see here what we are learning from the sun. The sun is doing thing for others, not for his own sake. He is doing it for others' sake. Yes, okay, sun is saying, let's see, sun is thinking. Sun God, Vivashwan is thinking. These human beings, animals, plants, all of them need water. but the water is so far away. They're all in the land and ocean is so far away. Okay, they need water. So the sun says, okay, I will make the water evaporate. And the water evaporates, and then the sun tells the wind, can you please scatter all this cloud to various places? And air disperses them all over, and then they just come down. Like what actually happens when there is a lot of clouds accumulating, as water vapor they can fly, they can go up. But when there is condensation, then they can't stay up there, they fall down, right? In the form of rain. Now, sun is doing all that just for the sake of others' benefit. The lesson we learn is that a saintly person, he does things for others' benefit. He doesn't care, he doesn't need them for his sake. So it may seem that a saintly person is getting so many things. So we may see sometimes a saintly person is getting so much money. But what does the saintly person do with that money? Gives it out for promoting Krishna consciousness. For promoting Krishna consciousness and taking care of the devotees. Right? So that is how he doesn't want to. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also mentioning at some other place that a saintly person may get some material comforts and material advantages, benefits. But the thing is that he is not attached to them. I think it's here. Anyway, so this is how Avadhuta learnt from sun. So how many we got? We got earth, wind, sky, then air, then sky, air and water. And then we got moon and then sun. And fire is there. Fire. Five. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Like 5 things, and then these 2, 7. Moon and fire we did yesterday. Did I do it in Bengali? I didn't do it in English. I did it yesterday, I did it. But I did it briefly. That fire is all purifying. It purifies. Similarly, a saintly person purifies. And even if somebody gives him contaminated food, he digests it. Even if somebody gives him a food, full with bad karma, but like a fire, he burns it out. Yesterday we did that. Okay, is there any question? So let's do some question answers today. That's in WhatsApp, yeah? So there's a question from Praneshwar Gopal Das, Manchester, UK. On this coronavirus, how can poor people survive if he lost the job, unable to buy food, unable to pay mortgage, unable to look after his family members? The situation at the moment is getting worse and worse. Yeah. Well, what to do? What to do, Pranishra Gopal Prabhu? Like, the situation is becoming critical, and yes, as you were saying, there will be crisis like that. People will lose job, people won't have money, and so let's pray to Krishna that he takes care of everyone. That's about all we can do. And everywhere we can try to distribute food on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted these three things to be conducted: book distribution, Harinam, and Prasad distribution. So Prasad distribution is one of our important features. And like we are discussing about a saintly person's nature, the saintly person will beg from others and feed the hungry. So that's what we have to do. At least we may not provide job for them, we may not provide money for them, but at least we can provide Krishna Prasad for them. Next question is Rishi Kumar Das from South Africa. Guru Maharaj, how can we incorporate the practice of tolerance if we are in a difficult position to deal with certain injustices or wrongdoings in the workplace, social dealings, family life, and even amongst the devotees? Yes, Rishi Kumar, in a situation like that, chant Hare Krishna. That's about all you can do. In this material nature, you'll always find situations like that. Injustice, inappropriate dealings, and like all these things will be there and they will cause anxiety. But what can be done? Udon practice, okay. Then in the work, so like as you are saying, like yes, in workplace, in social dealings, family life, even amongst the devotees, as you are saying, and I'm sure you're experiencing it, that's why you're saying it. At a time like that, what can you do? Like, if you can make them understand and prevent them from doing things like that, but if you fail, if you can't do that, then just chant Hare Krishna, just tolerate. Like, remember, we had been discussing from Abhadhuta's understanding or the teachings that he learned. What did he learn from a tree? And what did also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Become as tolerant as a tree. So tolerate. And if you can't tolerate, then leave that situation. Instead of getting angry and, reacting. Just leave the place. If you find that the situation in Durban is unbearable, you can think of going to Johannesburg or Cape Town. And if you feel that the situation in South Africa is too unbearable, then leave South Africa and go back to India. Like, there's always some place that you can find a favorable situation. Oh, also, Rishi Kumar, I'm happy to know, I was going to write to you actually. I am happy to know that it was not coronavirus negative. You came out with. Pranishwar Krishna Das from Sydney. Okay, Pranishwar Krishna. Guru Maharaj, in the current climate of crisis, there are so many opportunities to preach as people are much more open to listening. This creates anxiety to become a very effective preacher. Would one praying that Krishna gives more such crises for spreading the holy name indicate we have a callous heart. So, yes, good point. Like, we have to take these kind of situations to our favor and turn them into an opportunity to spread Krishna consciousness. Yes, a devotee must do that. And incidentally, you see, I just released a video, and it's available in the YouTube. And maybe Krishna Kishore, you can send it out to. Send to everybody. Okay. So, yeah, I am actually praying, requesting everyone, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, language, to just pray to Krishna. And I'm pointing out how Krishna saved us in this situation. You can't imagine, how Krishna is saving us. Why Krishna is saving us? Because we are chanting the holy name, because we are praying. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra actually is a prayer. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the most effective prayer, because this prayer has been designed by Krishna himself. That's why it's the most effective prayer. So, we are, and I actually gave the statistics. What is our statistics? USA, only 4 people got affected, all got cured. Although one was in a very critical condition. He was in ventilator, yeah. He was in a ventilator. He got cured. And in India, only 1 or 2 persons. Australia, no one. Like in America, about more than 500,000 people got affected, but only 3 or 4 devotees. In England, that was a big place where we got very badly affected. And the number was actually 97. That's quite a large number. But out of 97, 91 recovered. 91 recovered completely. 5 unfortunately left their bodies, and 1 is still in the hospital. And now, Italy, where it was raving, ravaging, nothing happened. Not a single devotee. China, not a single devotee. Spain, not a single devotee. Switzerland, 3 devotees recovered. Germany, 2 devotees recovered. So this is the situation. Now why like this? What happened? Why the devotees are being protected? Because the devotees are praying. So, that is the most effective way to save ourselves from this onslaught. Pray. And this is how we are taking advantage of the holy name, this situation. Then Navina Radha Devidasi, Richmond, Hare Krishna, Navina Radha. I have heard that we have to be very careful while giving the charity. So can you please guide me that is it okay to give money to the family members who are in the difficult situation, even when they do not follow 4 regulative principles? You see, Vaishnava's heart is very tender, and naturally that tender heart will be afflicted seeing the family members, other members are going through difficulties. So this is not the time to think, oh, whether I should give or not. All those things, don't worry about it. Just go out and give them the help. At a time of time like this, don't worry about whether they're following the 4 regulative principles or chanting 16 rounds. Don't worry about all that. Just go out and help. When you, at the time of crisis, say for example, I'll just give a simple example. If you see that your neighbor's house is burning, then are you going to consider whether he is chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles? You'll just take the bucket and start throwing it, to extinguish the fire. Or, call the firefighting station and call them to ask them to come as soon as possible. So the world is in a situation like that. The whole world is burning. So this is not a time to consider all those, whether we should give donations or not. You're not just giving donation, you're helping, you're assisting a person in distress, and they are your near and dear ones. So don't worry about that. Nitya, USA, in situations like this, where jobs are unstable, we feel that we need to be careful about earning and saving money to sustain. When everything is going good, we feel like donating all the excess money. What is the balance? As per Shastra, is there any specific percentage of income that should be donated? Well, like as you were saying, when you were saying that, it's going to be difficult, like if you may lose your, so I want to say, you will say if one may lose his job and there will be financial difficulties, then the intelligent thing naturally is to just keep whatever is there for safekeeping. I'll admit frankly, that's what we are doing. In our temple, like we are considering, donation stopped, people are not coming, so what are you going to do? Our income is going to slash down. So let us prepare ourselves, so that we, at the difficult time, we can face the situation. So next one is from Pooja Shukla from Surat. Since one will only be blessed according to his deeds, how will the prayers of others affect the ones whom they are praying about? If prayer has its place, then does this defy the law or the doctrine? Salvation is individual, means anyone commits sin and gets away with prayers of others. Is this appropriate? Yes, the prayer to the Lord is so powerful that it can take care of the karmic reactions. You see, karmic reactions can be nullified by prayers. Okay, an example in that respect. Somebody has done something wrong, right? And he is meant to be punished. And then you go and appeal to the punisher that please forgive him, don't. So the punisher may not listen to you. So no, I don't want to listen to you. He has done this, he has to be punished. But then, 10, 12, 100 people come there and tell the person, please forgive him. Then what will the punisher, the judge, do? He says, okay, since you all are requesting, I will. So in a similar way, the prayers to the Lord can nullify one's karma. Like according to karmic reaction, the person was meant to be punished. But because of your appeal, he has been forgiven. Okay, now Radha Pyari Dasi, how to Radha Pyari? Okay, so I'm very happy to hear from you. How to live in a way that we do not become the object of people's envy. We cannot control others to not to envy us, but how can we behave in a way that it minimizes others' feelings of envy towards us? So, Radha Pyari, you are a linguist, so I'll point out the spelling of envy, you check out. So, if somebody envies you, then, try to befriend that person, right? He is envying you because he considers, he doesn't take you as his intimate one. So that is one thing that we can do from stopping others to become envious. And another way to look at it, also that's the first thing to look at it. If somebody feels envy, let him feel. What can be done? You don't need to be affected. That other person is feeling envy. How does it matter with you? But what actually happens, the person who is feeling envious, he is burning inside. Envy is like, slow fire that burns within. The person who becomes envious, he doesn't feel happy. He rather feels miserable. Therefore, there is no need to worry about the envious people. So this is the last question I'll take. So this is from Ramananda Rai from Belgium. The wind as guru is very powerful analogy for transformation. As you mentioned, the wind carries the stench, but the wind is never the stench. Can you please elaborate more how we should see transformation of our life? How do you see it for yourself or experience it? The thing is, you see, like here, the analogy is being presented that whatever situation that you may be in, whether it is favorable, unfavorable, pleasing or distressful, like the wind, don't get affected by that. Just carry it, do it, but not be affected. The soul should not be affected. That's how we should see. Like, if we are situated in our spiritual identity, then we are not going to get affected by that. Like somebody, okay, let's put it this way. Someone is in material consciousness, body consciousness. Somebody praises him. He feels very elated. Now he feels, that means he feels who is the spirit soul. Because his consciousness is there in the body, whatever is happening in the body, happening to the body, he is just identifying with that. And then somebody insults him, he gets very upset. Why? Because he is in his body consciousness. But if we see this analogy, the fragrance is blowing through the wind. But should the wind identify that I am fragrant? The stench is flowing with the wind. Should the wind consider that this is my stench? Does the wind do that? My stench, people may say, oh, when the breeze is so fragrant. Others may say that. Oh, and the breeze is so putrid, so stench. But the soul should not be affected by that. Others may think that the soul is doing that. And a person who is in body consciousness may think that I am doing this is happening to me. But when one is situated in spiritual identity, an advanced spiritual personality, an exalted Vaishnava, he doesn't get affected by that. He sees it's happening to the body. Oh, he's praising my body, he's not praising me. Just like the wind will say, you may say it's a fragrant wind, but I'm not the fragrant wind. The fragrance is a mine. It's just happened to be there when I was blowing through the flower garden. Oh, it's so stench, the wind is so stench. No, I am not the stench. It just happens to be there, not affected. Similarly, whatever happens to the body or because of the body, the soul should stand aside, away from it, and consider, it's not happening to me. It's happening to my body, and it's happening because of karmic reaction. This poor guy must have done something, and this also body, the subtle body. The poor guy, the subtle body, did something in the past, and as a result of that, he is now experiencing it in the gross body. Please leave me out of that. That is the soul's attitude, should be. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Quiz, okay. So, 13th April quiz, total participation, wow. Total participation was 210. It's quite a thing to come out first three in this 210. Okay. Okay, so I'll take it from the bottom. Radhika Biani, Sikar. Hare Krishna, Radhika, you did so well. It looks like an international competition, and you came third in it. There are 210, that means the devotees participated from all over the world. So you got 92%. Give some credit. Then Krishna Kirtan Das, Ujjain. 92% in that international competition. And the first, Nitya Lakshmi Devi Dasi. Guess from where? Hyderabad. 96%. Thank you very much, Nitya Lakshmi. Hare Krishna, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Now, Bhakti Prem Maharaj will celebrate the occasion and he'll lead a wonderful kirtan.
कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणे। नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्यमात् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि गौर भक्तविंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की कलिजुग जुग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की साविद गौर भक्तविंद की गौर प्रेमानंद ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री गुरु and Gauranga ऑल ग्लोरीज टू शिल प्रभुपाद